Forces they do not know they are heard. The forces they do not know they are watched. All the lonesome cry of forgotten beasts will save us all or be a feast for winter. Okay. Yeah, that's a good starting place. Rough draft, Everybody's a Mimic theme song, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Take one. You wouldn't forget. It's cold on the mountain tonight. Yes, it's cold on the mountain tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the blizzard they do ride. Onward through the blizzard they do ride. With bread and butter and faithful hounds beside. The faithful folks of 10 towns they defend, and the rotten folks of 10 towns they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart they'll pierce the veil, strike at the heart of the rill.
And one. There we go. We are live. Howdy, interwebs, world at large. We are Everybody's a Mimic, an actual play 5th edition. Okay, I gotta start all the way over again. Because somebody coughed.
Don't.
And now you
Well,
talked
also
again.
don't. I'm just saying, don't like associate like as if we're going out to escaped convicts.
We are an actual play 5th edition webcast playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. This is currently session 17, and we are in the middle of the Black Cabin quest. If you have not joined us before, you can find all of our past videos on our YouTube page. Everybody's a Mimic. Actually, it's youtube.everybody'samimic. It's probably something longer than that.
Just go to YouTube and type in "Everybody's a Mimic." It's probably the only thing that comes up.
It is.
Yeah.
Can
confirm
Corey.
because I did that because I was looking up some stuff from a previous session. So
yeah, we have all of our sessions uploaded there. You can go and catch up and then come right back, or you can just stay and come along with this wild ride. At the end of our last session, our party, having kind of set up shop in Bryn Shander, ready for this next stage of the adventure book, have hunted down leads on a black cabin, the black cabin that was scryed upon by the party whenever they were investigating the Kalishtar ruins and used the large scrying pool. They scryed upon a mysterious shadowy figure that was standing in this shade on the southern face of Kelvin's cairn. And the question they had asked was they were searching for somebody who could assist Levi with his... Levi, how would you describe it?
An affliction.
Affliction, yes. An affliction. Anyone else, how would you describe it?
red slot egg.
Red slot egg. That's a pretty factual description there, yes. Levi's character has been impregnated by a red slot egg, and we are...
Tummy troubles.
I don't know if impregnated is I mean, I guess, but like I feel like it's more of like
I'm fairly certain that is the rules as written wording.
Using impregnated as a verb rather than like the general connotation of biologic impregnation, it does work because if like water gets into wood, the wood is impregnated.
I
This
guess.
red
the
spawn
conversation we'd be
sure as
having.
shit got into.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the party, upon determining that there was somebody who can assist this basically ticking time bomb in the middle of Levi's chest, is somewhere out in this cabin. They found they acquired some rumors from the gentleman at We Sell Things here, and met up with a little gnome named Copper that is dressed in a fuzzy little bear suit, who told them about his friend Macretus, who had been doing experiments out here trying to help and defeat the everlasting winter put on by Oral. The party treks out to the Black Cabin, an area that is afflicted with even stronger and colder temperatures and weather than other areas of the Icewind Dale. And they come upon this rickety old cabin that is teetering off the edge of a straight fall into a ravine about 120 feet up on the edge of this cliff. During the initial investigations, Rosemary, our party druid, had the excellent idea of traveling around as a rather lightweight wolf spider. I don't actually know where we ended up on the... I think we ended up fairly light on the total weight of the giant wolf spider.
Yeah. I imagine it, like, the mass would be less than...
Right, about a dog.
Her normal.
Yeah, definitely less than a half orc. But unfortunately, when she chose to, after clearing the place of traps and such and opening the door, chose to switch out of wild shape, she was standing on the weak part of the floor, right off just one square away, and plummeted to her death. Or would have plummeted to her death, if not for the surprise reveal of Levi being an Azamar all along, unfurling his golden wings and diving down to save Rosemary. They took a little break, stepped outside of the cabin, and chatted it up, where we will start this session, picking up with their conversations. However, the rest of the party, Del Nadre and Bitte included, continued to investigate the rest of the cabin, avoiding the weak part in the floor, and came upon the artifact that Macretus was working on, the supposed summer star. Actually, did I say what it was last session? I feel like I did. I feel like Copper told you guys what it was.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure that wasn't a secret that I forgot about. The summer star. Although they tried their best to safely acquire and pick up the artifact, it was rigged to blow due to its malfunction, and a large expanding orb of radiant light engulfs both Bitte and Del Nadre, ending their adventures short. Or so they thought, until they woke up in the astral realm, accompanied by a large floating head. And that is where we're going to start off this session. Actually, this is not where we're going to start this session, because like I said, we are going to walk back a little bit, maybe about 10 minutes or so, and revisit the conversations between between Rosemary and Levi. But before we get to that, we are actually going to start off our session like we should have with a random question for your characters. Are y'all ready for this session's random question?
Super.
Absolutely.
Super. All right. If the fates had not intervened and your characters respectively had not chosen the life of adventurers, what do you think their normal daily lives would have been? This is like a 8 to 5 kind of job, not like, Levi being the son of a king just going back to ruling a country. What do you think their job would be? Let's start with Bitte. We'll go alphabetically down the row.
Their typical day job, it would probably be Beta's typical day job. of
Yeah,
being
Beta
a
actually already has a job.
Well,
yeah. Beta is basically a pack mule. He's a adventure guide. He's a courier in the great gray wilds, and he loves it. Clean
He
living,
is.
easy living, and he gets all the shit to buy random stuff for various weird hippy dippy resonance purposes.
He's the Icewind Dale version of Sam Porter.
yeah.
Sam Porter Bridges.
Well, Bitte had it easy. Del Nodry, what would be your day job?
Oh, you do know that my character also has a job, right?
I don't think I've ever...
I feel like this was a weird question on your part, but
I feel like we all kind of had day jobs before we.
so if he wasn't an adventurer, which I'm not sure Del Nadre even thinks of himself as an adventurer. He'd probably be working on trade contracts.
I feel like I should have stipulated that, like, what if your characters was in the real world? But we're going to continue on.
You didn't ask that question.
I did not,
Yeah,
yes.
that's not the.
I will ask that question next session. Haha. But yeah, sure. It just so happened to work out that the first two characters in our party do have day jobs that they seemingly do every day.
Yeah?
Yeah. So now, Rosemary and Levi first, what would your day job be? Because I have to say, I don't think either of you have a pretty typical day job.
So Levi was a soldier before he left the army, but he does have a sort of a family history on the water. So I could see him being some sort of like mercantile ship captain or some sort of like ferry master, ferrying people back and forth in the Moonshae Isles.
Okay.
So
nice. All right, Rosemary.
So I know Rosemary's parents would have probably wanted her to stay, where they grew or in her town. I always call it's like Kuldahar, right?
Yeah,
it's Kuldahar.
It's Kuldahar.
I always want to say Kalishtar, but that's the Eberron thing.
Yeah.
They would have wanted her to stay in Kuldahar probably as a healer. But I feel like growing up and hearing Bitte's stories, when she got old enough, I think she would have asked Bitte to take her on as an apprentice and gone on and done the porter business, because she's always been very fascinated with Icewind Dales and would want to get down to the 10 towns eventually.
I'm quite surprised you didn't just pull out. I would be an environmental lawyer focused on environmental union jobs, because that just seemed to be something that Rosemary has had a very keen interest on.
Honestly, I mean, she's into the environmental thing, but I think the union thing was more just Bree.
It's true. Okay, then I guess we have to ask, what is Bree's day job? But she already has one because she was...
Yeah, Bree literally only had a day job, and then her one adventure, she died, so...
Guys, I don't think the DM's reading our backstories.
It was a last-minute question that I completely flopped. But...
It's okay.
Still,
it's still fun.
For newcomers, they now know what each of our characters did. Ha-ha.
Indeed.
Anyways, let's get back to it. So, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to rejoin and begin our session focusing in on Levi and Rosemary as they have their conversation. Let's start with moments after Levi, you, golden wings and all, flap. When you dove into the ravine and you got Rosemary in your arms, you flew back up. Did you fly really high, or did you just barely go over the edge of the cliff and just kind of touch right down, nice and easy?
no, probably maybe a couple extra feet just to make sure that his wings didn't clip anywhere. But probably not taller than the house, and then just sort of a light landing in the snow, and then immediately letting the wings letting the wings drop and disappear,
Mm-hmm.
bringing his eyes back to the normal color.
Okay. Nice. And Rosemary, how are you reacting to your near-death experience?
So she's definitely a little shell shocked. I think after like kind of like putting a hand on Levi's shoulder and just being like, "Thank you so much." Like I almost died. Thank you. I won't tell anyone if you don't want me to. And like making sure that the guys inside know that she's alive. I think we talked about like she just kind of plops in a snowbank and like starts nibbling on some crackers because she's a little shell shocked.
Yeah. So you guys, you make a call out to Bete Del Nadri. They acknowledge you that you're safe, and they kind of continue on. You may say something of, I just need to rest, just a moment alone out here, and Levi just sticks around with you. And what do you guys talk about? You have 10 minutes or so. Do you guys, Levi, do you go about doing anything in this time, or just...
Yeah, so I think Levi would go over to the sled that we brought and sort of pull out some of that jerky, and because he knows that after near-death experiences, sometimes the stomach, it can be a little bit queasy, but sometimes putting something a little more substantial in it is good. So he grabs some of the jerky and he walks over, and he also plops down in the snow next to Rosemary and offers her some. And he says, "Are you feeling okay? I know that was probably a harrowing experience."
Rosemary's just kind of been like staring up at the cabin, and she has kind of like a little bit of a glassy look in her eye, and then like as Levi comes over, she just kind of like blinks at him for a minute, and then like accepts the jerky. Is like, "Oh, yeah, thank you. You're Levi. You're the sick one, aren't you? You're Levi. You said."
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Sorry, Rosemary's on a break.
Oh, hello, Bree.
Yeah. Don't really know what just happened, but she seems a little shaken up. I think it's really weird seeing Kelvin's cairn from this angle. I'm used to seeing it from the other side over on Lonely Wood.
I imagine it's a tough. To give you a short recap, this cabin here seems a bit unstable, and Rosemary fell through the floor, and I was able to catch her and deposit her here to make sure that she didn't die. So, I know that she's taking a break. I'm glad to see you're still around. So it's I guess a pleasure to fully meet you. I guess.
Yeah. Sorry that last time was a lot. There was a lot happening, and I don't think we really got a chance to talk as much. You said it was... Sorry, it's a lot to sort through. It's weird being me, but also not me.
I imagine that two souls in one body can be tough. I know a thing or two about voices in my head, so I can sort of understand the difficulty.
You do.
In a way, yes.
Okay. About your when you were asking if I knew anything about you said it was a slod?
Yes, on my and he kind of shows a scar on the inside of his upper arm, and he says, "I seem to have been hit by the red slod that I was unable to defeat, and now it seems I have some sort of, one of them growing inside of me, and I don't have very long left to live."
When I was gone, or dead, I guess, I think one of those... Something happened to someone in my family. the same thing that's happening to you, and I think it destroyed them. But I don't want that to happen to anyone else. And if there's anything I can do, I want to help.
I, of course, appreciate your help. That's actually why we're here at this cabin, as we were told that the person who lived here may have been able to help me, but it seems that they are already dead. And so I'm not sure exactly where we will go from here, but wherever that may be, I hope that we are able to find some sort of solution to my affliction before we need to find another solution.
Well, I mean, I'm dead, and you're talking to me, so maybe there's hope. There's always got to be hope, right?
I'll cross my fingers for that one.
Yeah, me too.
So your memory gets fuzzy when you switch, right?
Sometimes it's weird because I've been told that 30 years have gone by, but it doesn't really feel like it to me. But sometimes I remember bits and pieces. I feel like bits of Rosemary, I guess, or Rosie, or whatever you guys call her. But I don't think I've ever been quite this sentient before.
I see. So you have no recollection of arriving to the cabin, plummeting or nearly plummeting to the valley floor below, and how you got into this snowbank?
I feel shaken up. DM, do I remember any of that?
Roll me a wisdom save.
Wisdom
Using
save.
breeze. Save.
Using breeze stats, I assume.
Yes.
It's 14.
As Bree thinks back on what the harrowing events that just happened, she kind of gets these quick flashes of Rosemary memory, but it's very hazy.
Am I here?
You are there. We are here. Can you hear us? I don't think she can.
1 second. I'm gonna drop and come back in.
Okay. We will pause a moment.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Sorry.
Excellent. So, with the 14 on your wisdom save, Bree kind of thinks back on it using the, kind of input from Levi, and is able to get these flashbacks of memory from Rosemary's perspective, but it's still very hazy, and you kind of just get bits and pieces of it. But it's probably one of the few times Bree has been able to be aware of, I guess, like a normal timeline of events. Because typically you in your ghost form, you're kind of very jumbled. You don't feel like, as you just mentioned, those 30 years have really even gone by. It just seems like it's, oh, I'm here now. Because you don't have so yeah, you're able to kind of just, it's a weird sensation, but you are able to pull back what happened to Rosemary right then. But if you, any kind of attempt by Bree to kind of think further back, oh, I know they were back, we were talking to Lita, you wouldn't be able to pull anything back, just flashbacks of your near harrowing fall.
Wow. Yeah, that sucks. No wonder she needs a minute. Yeah, Oh, so you're an Asima, aren't you?
What?
I mean, if she remembers the fall, she remembers Levi sprouting wings. So.
This is true.
I mean,
no, it's cool. I just I don't know if I've met one before, though. I guess you can't really.
We don't really
tell.
use that word. That's our word.
I mean, I don't normally tell people about it.
Why not?
I guess I don't like answering all of the questions that come with it.
Fair enough.
Like, why do you grow golden wings? And why can you heal people with your hands? And why was your grandfather a planetar?
That's fun. I thought I had big shoes to step into when I inherited my family's lumber mill.
I so wish that I could inherit a family lumber mill.
Hey, if you ever, well, granted, I don't know if the tea leaf mill is still in business, but if they were, you'd have a job lined up if you never quit this adventuring thing. You look like you could chop a tree pretty well.
Well, I am pretty strong, and he flexes. And I did compete in a tree chopping competition over in Goodmead, which I nearly won, but those pesky lumberjacks there, they killed me with experience. They overcame my strength, and I was unable to beat them.
Well, the Goodmead lumberjacks are trash. I mean, no offense.
You know what?
I'm sure you put up a great fight.
And it is right before Bree comments, "Goodmead's lumberjacks are trash." That is the moment then that in last session, Bitte and Del Nadri made their way out of the main, cabin and into the workshop again to go pick up some stuff. And so, Del Nadri, you catch up on this "Goodmead lumberjacks are trash" comment. How do you react?
Sick.
He's hurt by your insensitivity to his town, Bree.
He's not even from the town.
Oh no, I was muted.
Oh.
I snicker. But, that's about it. Goodmead lumberjacks can be trash, that's fine.
So, Bitte, Del Nadri, you didn't get that opportunity to kind of say anything last time, but as you guys make your way out of the cabin and into the other workshop where you went and picked up some of the items that were there, I believe you inspected the what's in that room? The mill, the furnace. It's the workshop. So, yeah. So, what do you have anything to say to the two adventuring party members in the snow?
Nope.
All right.
B2 will kind of call out over the railing, like, Rosie, you good? Thumbs up.
I imagine Bree doesn't respond at first and might need like a nudging from Levi to be like, "That's you."
Yeah, I think he kind of like taps her with his.
B2 looks over to Don and goes, "I think she's concussed."
Yeah, I think he kind of taps her with his foot and he whispers, "Hey, you're Rosie right now."
Right. All good. And she gives like a thumbs up.
Like a sheepish grin, just like, yeah.
That delayed response is not very comforting. Del, Levi, don't let her take a nap. We're just going to go pick up this thing and try and fiddle with it a bit. We'll be right back.
Good luck with that.
Levi gives him a little salute.
So they go into the workshop and go back out without paying you guys any mind. And Bree and Levi continue their conversation.
She'll be fine. She has a strong noggin.
I got that from my dad's side.
But yeah, I think Levi would kind of put his hand on on Bree/Rosemary's shoulder, and he just sort of looks at her and he says, "Also, I imagine that you may not want to be in Rosemary's body forever, and if there's anything that I can do along the way to assist you in either finding a new body or whatever it is that you may or may not be able or decide to do, I would be happy to assist."
Really like that. I think
Nice.
cracking open a cold one.
With the boys.
I would really like that. I mean, as much as I'm grateful to be here at all, I feel like I probably can't keep hijacking Rosemary forever.
Well, in moments like this where she could use a little rest, I'm sure she's fairly appreciative of it. But no, I completely understand your need to have your own private space, we'll say.
Yeah, and at some point, I don't know how much can be fixed, but I want to go back to my family, to the Tea Leaves, and see what I can do to maybe bring us back together again.
And I do hope that you're able to do so. The Tea Leaves, as far as I know, were sort of revered at one time. And I imagine that if the mill were up and running again, that perhaps they could, grow back into what they once were.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then Levi just sort of wraps his cloak around him and offers Bree a little bit more jerky, and then just looks up into the sky.
I feel like she'll just chew on the jerky and sit in comfortable silence.
After a few moments of comfortable silence, you hear this wind up, and behind you, or I guess in front of you, if you're looking at Kelvin's cairn, you're actually looking towards the cabin. Looking at the cabin, coming out from the window that you see there on the southern side, as well as underneath, because you guys can see just a little bit of the bottom of the cabin that's up on its stilts. This glowing, radiant orb just goes pop and disappears.
Well, this looks like a Rosemary problem.
See you later. Hey, beat that. Dell, are you okay in there? Everything all right?
Are they okay? What happened?
Hey, Rosemary, is that you?
So
Yeah.
Actually, Rosemary, Bree, as you try to normally retreat, which Bree has done before, where she kind of just lets go. She's still there. You kind of just you open your eyes. You're like, uh-oh.
This could be a problem.
What now?
It's still me. Hi. Let's make sure. What were their names?
Yeah, easy. Hey, how about you stay here for a moment, and I'll go. I don't know why they didn't just answer me, but hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And Levi stands and starts to make his way around, and then up the staircase.
Yeah. So Levi progressively, he makes his way carefully along the staircase, avoiding the rickety parts. And
Yep.
Do you jump over the broken down little section, or do you just climb through the window right there?
I think he would probably step over it, but he's fairly tall, so I imagine that he would step to the second or third, not log, but plank, I guess, to avoid stepping on the plank that is nearest to the opening.
Okay. But do you enter through the window right here?
Oh, you meant over there. Yeah. I thought you meant right here.
Oh yeah, no. That section is all good. The only section that did collapse was this blue drawn part.
Yeah, then yes, absolutely, he would hop through the window.
Okay.
Because dealing with all of that mess is no go.
Yeah. So you hop through the window and you are encountered with the pretty strong smell of singed flesh, along with the completely singed body of Bitte. You are easily able to make that assumption just given the difference in size between Bitte and Del Nadri. Also, the fact that Del Nadri is only half singed. Unfortunately, his upper part is kind of just there, and the summer star sits just kind of right here on the floor.
And he immediately goes, "Oh shit, 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 shit!" And he hops over Dell and just tries to put a hand on both of them, and tries to heal them if he can.
Nothing happens.
And he he's like, "Hey, Dell, Dell."
Del
Pita,
looks
hey.
like half of his body is about as blackened as the outside of a nicely dry rub brisket. Bitte looks like a full dry rub brisket.
And he sort of just drops down to like a sitting position and sort of just rubs his hands on both sides of his face and pulls his hair back and just stares, honestly. And he's standing right in front of the star, which he will not be touching. And he just looks back and forth from Beta to Dell, and he calls out to Rosemary. He says, "Hey, Bree, I don't want to alarm you. I definitely don't think you should come in here, but
You okay? What? Did they fall off the cliff too? Like, what's happening?
Dell and Beta are dead."
What? Does that snap Rosemary back at all?
It does not.
Fuck.
In fact,
And
Bree, as you kind of like are sitting outside, you're a bit closer to the cabin now. You hear very faint whispering, very faint. Like it's at first you thought it might have been like on the wind, but you've heard it kind of throughout the conversation, but it was so low and it was not intelligible. It's still not intelligible at this time, but you can tell you hear something far off, but too far off for you to even really be hearing it.
Do I know what direction it is coming from?
From the cabin.
Hold on. I'm coming up. And she like picks her way up, and she's going very, very slowly because she's not used to being so big. Do I have to do anything to get over this part?
No, not at all. You just kind of run forward. You can hop. Would Bree hop through the window that you saw Levi go through?
Probably, because this is gone now, and I don't think she thinks she can make that gap.
Right. Okay. So you kind of
like,
just...
hold on, I'm coming in. I know you just said not to, but fuck it.
Yeah, Levi is just sitting there in between the two of them with his head in his hands, and he's just like a single tear streams down from his eye.
Does she see anything other than Levi and the dead bodies when she looks in through the window?
You do not, but you can definitely tell that this room is where the whispering is coming from. Now, let us tint you guys. Now we're gonna go to the astral realm, or in this sense, the near astral realm of those who have died in the Black Cabin. Oh God!
You have entered the astral zone.
All right.
Ghost.
Where we find, and I'm fairly certain I uploaded his picture earlier.
A thin place between sight and sound.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
We enter the Twilight Zone.
Okay, cool. let me quickly do something I was supposed to have done before. My bad, everybody. Give me a moment. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's not going fast enough. Ah! Save, damn you. Save. 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 And... that's terrible. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, imagine there is a large floating skull in the astral realm. Bree and Levi do not see this giant skull that has appeared on the map. It is the floating skull with a rather high-pitched voice. And then now we are shifting over to Bitte and Del Nadre. The first words that you guys kind of register in this, it's a new environment where it's kind of just like a perpetual white noise in the background. You no longer hear anything except just this psh. You just hear right in front of you. Well, now you done it.
What?
You did it.
The fuck are you?
Yeah, well, the fuck am I? The fuck am I the person who fixed that thing? Well, built that thing there that you just destroyed. Actually, he kind of like goes really close to the little summer star. His body just kind of taking the place of where Levi is. No, it looks like it's still good. Still good. Just needs to be fixed. Something you guys didn't quite do before you decided to mess with it.
What?
Can you hear me?
Beta
Does your ears
Beta
work?
just suddenly registers that his body is on the ground, and Short is like, that fucking thing broke us? What are you talking about?
No, you just did not follow
we
the
picked
correct
it up.
safety features. I saw this one, and he gestures his head towards Del Nadre. He rifling around my artifact, my papers. Why didn't he read? He should have known. You should have known this is definitely your fault.
I'm sorry, you don't seem to have obeyed all of the proper safety precautions either,
Well, as
Mr. Disembodied Skull.
as the creator of the Summer Star, I could take some. Let's just say that I didn't need to follow all the safety ones. I knew exactly what was safe and what wasn't safe, and if it had worked as it was intended, I wouldn't be here, absently-mindedly just waiting around for somebody to just wander in.
And here we are.
Yes, but you're dead. How do you think we should
What?
communicate with them? And he kind of just gestures to Levi and Rosemary, who you guys see in sort of a... let's just envision the astral realm as everything is either smoky or and tinted blue, and
Proto ring vision.
yeah, exactly. And the flaming skull kind of just like goes, the floating skull just goes closer to Del Nadre. Sir, normal hearing doesn't work here, so I know you can hear me.
What's happening?
You're dead.
No. No.
Look down.
No.
Look down.
No.
Look down.
I look down.
There you see your half charred body.
I look up.
See? Do you believe me now that you're dead?
No.
Well, I didn't.
It's not.
It seems
not happening.
It seems that something has broken your brain, has it not? You know, you seem to be the smart one. You were gathering up papers, but maybe the brutish one here will be able to figure it out. And the skull kind of goes closer to Bitte, and he's like, "You can do." He turns around again.
Crouch in the corner.
Yeah, just he turns around and just goes back over to the things. Gosh, I swear. You know, ultimately, this is all just Copper's fault. He's the one who abandoned me. If he had been here, this wouldn't have happened, or I wouldn't have been sitting here for a couple of days with just random ne'er-do-wells walking in and inspecting my lovely little cabin, and then you folk wander in and get yourself killed. Now, oh joy, now I get to spend the rest of eternity with you two.
Dear God, there has to be some way out of this.
There is. Unfortunately, I have no way of communicating with them, being as though I am a floating skull. I tried writing things with my chin, I just couldn't get it done.
Beta, looking around, is gonna kind of run his hands along the walls and like try and get a feel for where he is, um,
Are
in
you
regards to the planes.
are you trying to like touch the wall? Are you trying to, or are you just trying to
I
like?
mean, yeah, he's trying. Yeah, I mean, he goes at first to like touch the wall.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's trying to like literally get a feel for his direction.
Roll me wisdom with advantage as you try to touch the wall rather than just passing straight through it.
Okay. Da-ba-da, da-ba-da-da.
Your knowledge of your knowledge of the planar forces helping you a bit, but unfortunately your hand just kind of passes on through. You felt a little bit of resistance, but whether your ghost form is just too strong, your hand's just too big, you're too burly of a man, your hands consistently just keep passing through. You can keep at it. You will eventually get it, but at this time, you're unable to touch or affect the physical realm, even at the very slightliness. You're unable to haunt this cabin.
How did you? This is. Its energies are muddled. It is not. Doesn't seem to fall into the categories it should.
You're telling me
But
something
how
about
did you?
this. Sorry, go on.
How would you get out of this if you could communicate?
Get out of it. I just want to see the Summer Star fixed. I think that I could live for the rest of my life here knowing that I served Lathander true to my word, and I created the stop to the everlasting winter. I wouldn't care if I was a ghost stuck in this black cabin forever. They would make a museum out of this black cabin because of what I've done here and stopped the everlasting winter. We just need to fix it. Who cares about being a ghost forever and not being a ghost forever? But if you are unable to touch the physical realm, and that one over there in the corner gesturing to Del Nandri is unable to do anything other than whimper, well, I think we are up Schitt's Creek, that's for sure. Now, Levi, Rosemary, you now in the material realm, Levi just in tears, just on the floor in despair. But Bree, you're still hearing those whispers. How do you think Bree would focus in on that?
She would first kind of maybe think it was Levi, but I think once she realizes that it's not, I think she's just gonna she's gonna take a step into the room, and she's gonna close her eyes and just try to listen.
Okay. All right. Now, is Bree just trying to listen, or is she trying to use Rosemary's ears to listen?
Well, I imagine however she's hearing the whispers, she would just try to focus in on that. I don't know if that's with my ears or... how do you listen to things?
Well, okay, you know what, Miss Smartass. Let's go ahead and let's do it a wisdom saving throw. It seems to be the yeah.
18.
So you focus on it. You find this sort of meditative state. And you, as you get there, you can hear things a bit more clearly. You hear voices now. You still can't quite make them out, but you know that there's at least two. One a bit more higher pitched, one deeper. But
Do you hear that?
It's not coming in completely, but you know it's in this room, a bit closer to the table at least seems to be the source.
I will step closer to the table, being very careful not to step on any bodies.
You get closer and you can, as if you are listening through from such a distance, an echo. You hear Macretus's voice ever so slightly. You hear it clearly, and you're able to comprehend what just happened, or what he just said.
So did I hear like the whole conversation, or just like the tail end if he's trying to like contact the physical plane?
You did not. You heard the tail end of how he wants a museum built to this place, and that all he cares about is fixing the artifact.
A museum? Levi, do you hear that?
The fuck did she just say? He just says, looking at the skull.
Yeah, and McCree just kind of turns over to Rosemary / Bree and just like, hey, this one's weird. And the skull just kind of envelops the space that Bree is in. It's like, this is a weird vibration. I don't like that. He steps back again. I think she's our key to getting this thing done.
Gary sneezes when he's in her space.
Yeah, it feels really weird. Yeah, definitely. Let's go with that. A stuffy on your nose, an itching in the back of your throat, and all of a sudden a chew.
Yeah.
One
of those full body shivers, like ugh.
A spectral mist dissipates the skull for a moment as it just kind of like gets blown away, and it just goes, what the hell? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Goes back over to the table. I don't like that. I did not like that at all. Hey, corner boy.
Interesting.
Gesturing over to Del Nandre. Hey, come over here. Try to touch the table. Maybe you can write something in this suit.
What would it
While
really?
he does that, Beta's gonna go into Levi's space and try and make Levi sneeze.
You're doing what now?
He's gonna try and inhabit Levi's space, Levi's body, and like see if it makes him sneeze.
Same way the
Slash,
skull
if he
did
can
to
possess
Rosemary.
him.
Yeah, for copyright purposes, we can't just outright say he's going to reenact the scene from Ghost.
Yeah,
You're
that
actually
famous
seeing
sneezing scene.
No. Imagine BJ's like, oh, it's lonely in here, and he takes Levi's hands and touches the thing.
So Del Nandre, you said something about what would that help?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? What would it help? You can talk to them if you're able to figure it out. I've heard that ghosts can do such a thing. I think. I mean, how else do they haunt people?
Hell if I know. I wouldn't consider myself an expert on ghosts.
Neither would I, but at least we're trying something, right? Try to write on this table. Say hello. Say hello from 1985.
I'm gonna try to write "fuck off" in this soot.
All right, give me a wisdom check.
He just writes hello
Please
from the other
work.
side.
Please work. I love the idea of like Bree looking down at the table and just seeing "fuck off" up here.
Well, that is exactly what happens as it slowly. You're just like, oh, look, they're saying something. There's an F and a U.
Oh shit, it's working.
A C. Okay, Bree, you can take over now.
I think the table is telling me to fuck off.
What?
Come look at this.
Levi stands up so he can see the top of the table.
Yep, you see the words "fuck off" written in the soot on top of the table.
Does that sound
Levi
like
just-
friends?
Levi just looks around and says, hey, you fuck off.
It occurs to Beta that he probably doesn't actually have to walk, so he kind of floats over and he gets like kind of horizontal, and he's like, "It's working." And Beta's gonna try and like put his handprint down into the soot to show the size of his handprint.
Roll a wisdom save again with advantage.
Can I write "no you"?
You can write "no you." Now that you've captured, you understand how to do it. It's quite easy to write things in the soot. Same for you, Bitte. Now you grasp the simplicity of it. It's not about touching the wall. It's just about feeling that you're not even in the astral plane and accepting reality as what it should be, not what it is.
We're gonna run out of soot before we actually find a solution.
Yeah. Yeah, so Beta's massive, like, dinner plate and a half handprint appears in the soot.
On the table or just off in the corner where
On the table.
Okay. And there's a big handprint that just goes over the "know you" and the "fuck off," completely smearing, smudging all of the words, and you recognize that size handprint.
Hey, we were engaging in intelligent discourse.
Levi points at it and he says, I want to say it's Beta's hand, but I guess technically it could be any large Goliath's hand, but I think that's Beta's hand.
Right.
Levi looks down at the handprint.
one.
There's like a montage of Levi and Bete like slowly intertwining their fingers. I know that hand.
It's all of the times that Levi was like, "Let me compare my hand to yours."
Yeah.
Like, wow, your
has
hand
bigger
is so
hands,
big.
Us outside my door.
See, if Rosemary was here, she would have that, but like I grew up with this giant Goliath and used to compare my hand as I was a child.
Yeah.
But Rosemary's not here right now, so...
Says Bree, somehow just figuring out that Rosemary and Bitte, grew up together. It's like, oh, hey, I had one of those flashbacks again.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Wow, she would be really devastated if she was here right now.
And Levi just sort of extends his arms like he's like doing some weird prayer ritual, and he's like, "Are you trying to communicate with us?"
If you are, stop telling us to fuck off.
Tell them no shit. Right, no shit. No shit, Sherlock. I've heard that was a great detective around here.
Beta's just gonna try and do a check mark.
You're able
Check
to...
Was my backpack incinerated?
Roll me a D2. Odds it was, evens it was not.
All right, well, I don't want to type anything, so I'm just going to do a D4.
Okay, evens it was not.
Nice.
Can I rummage through my stuff and pull out my sketchbook?
You start to rummage through your backpack. You are unable to pull anything out, given that you really can only just adjust things. You can't quite pick anything up. But
I think Levi just snatches it and holds it close, and he's like, "Don't steal my friend's stuff."
So you can continue.
I'm going to kick Levi in the shin.
You feel the light touch as somebody caresses your shin.
He looks at Bree and he says, "Bree, I think someone's touching me."
Don't kick him in the balls.
I mean, this sounds like you're friends, right? And I don't know, maybe they're still here? She'll just say loudly into the open air of like, what do you want? Where are you?
Oh man, there was a bunch of paper in that room. I'm gonna go try and get some paper. And just push it underneath the door.
So the door still being open. You grab some paper and you're only able to knock it onto the floor. So Levi, Rosemary, and Bree, you hear the fluttering of some paper as it gets knocked into the ground. Macretus, on the other hand, is kind of just staring at you guys and it's like, just look at this room. It's covered in soot. You don't need paper. Just draw anywhere. Get them to fix the Summer Star so that we don't have to be here in the death realm, in the astral realm. As losers, we can be here as winners, knowing that we successfully completed my artifact. Knowing that
That's not a very precise method of note-taking.
What do they need to do to safely handle your Summer squash.
Well,
It needs another ring.
well, yes, that's something that I determined through lots of research. It seems that my artifact is a bit too powerful. There was no limiter on it, which is something that requires, a brain as such as mine to be able to determine.
Okay, how do they safely pick it up and or move it?
It should be fine now. I mean, it only held the energy from the last time, as it I was able to partially stop it from fully exploding. So you just kind of had the tail end of it. Whew. Think about if you had hit with the whole thing. Well, you'd be just like me over there. And he kind of just gestures to
So
his
it is
pure skeleton.
So it is spent. The explodiness of it.
As long as nobody attunes to it and tries to activate it before fixing it. Yeah.
Did Dell try to attune to it, or was this just handling it?
It was just handling it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to handle it for an hour to attune to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
so
was just
what do we need
a leftover
Delphine
energy.
to do?
Well, okay. Can you just tell your friend there to stop pushing paper across the floor so I can think?
I'm over
Del-
here.
Exactly, and you were very distracting, bringing this paper all around.
I'm standing next to
Okay.
Rosemary.
Exactly, but you went across the way to get paper, right?
Yeah, but I gave up on
Big
that.
head. Let's try to focus. Okay.
All right.
What do
Rosemary.
they need to do?
Do I hear any of this?
You do hear, the more you focus, the better you can keep up with the conversation. It's not a easy conversation to keep up with, especially for Bree, who's kind of just doesn't really quite understand the reference of everything. It's kind of just
Yeah, she's missing some of the context. I imagine she's kind of lowly under her breath to not interrupt their conversation, trying to give the gist to Levi.
yeah.
And also, she's like, "Your friends sound like assholes." No offense, but what the fuck?
So
I don't make excuses for them. Del Nadre is a little shit, and Bite's pretty cool.
Yeah, fair.
You
There's
think some cool.
was there another one?
Where did you hit?
What?
Where did you hit Levi, Del Nadre?
Punching him in the kidney.
Okay, Levi, you feel like somebody poking you in the kidney.
Like in my kidney, or just in my side?
Actually, Del Nadre, that's a good point. Were you inside his body whenever you tried to squeeze, or did you swing at his
Oh,
kidney?
hell yeah. Let's go for full internal damage.
Inside your kidney.
Wait. There's something else in there, man.
Shit!
Take care of it.
Wait!
You know what?
You
Now,
let
no,
me
I don't
fuck
want
up
to.
the slot egg. Problem solved. Ghost surgery.
McCready's
All right.
just kind of looking at all of you guys, just like, no, what is this? Don't bother with this.
I'm gonna attempt.
get-
I'm gonna attempt to possess Levi to see if I can get a sense of where the slot egg is in him.
Okay. Give me a moment. I need to look up the possession rules for ghosts. Because we're going
DU is going to, through this whole thing, try to keep. Sorry, not DU.
DU.
Wrong session.
Not my steel defender from the other session.
Oh, you.
Beta is going to.
Sorry, I was gonna send to the DM. He sent me the
Oh.
possession rules a while back because we were talking about Bree.
Oh, yeah. I have them right here.
The NPC ghost has a DC 13 Charisma saving throw, but I have a higher spell save DC than
Okay.
that. No, I don't.
Okay.
It's 13.
So
JK.
what? Do I need to make a charisma save? Is that what you're saying?
If he is actively trying to possess you, yes. However, because Del Nadri is not actually a full ghost, we will give Levi advantage on this roll. You advantage on a DC 13 charisma saving throw to avoid possession from Del Nadre.
Oh, are you actually trying to possess me right now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see how
Vita,
this goes.
as this is transpiring, Vita is trying to like keep himself floating
Nailed it.
between the skull and Dell, and just be like, no, focus. What do I need to tell him?
Yeah, Levi or Del Nadre, you are expelled, kind of like rebuffed from Levi. In fact, you rebuffed to the point where you can't even get closer to Levi now. You find him to be blocked by some sort of aura or force field.
Son of a bitch.
There's like a field of force here.
Macretus just kind of looks at you. He's like, yes, but the big one says, just tell them to create another ring with the runes needed to control the power that is being off-put and created by the artifact. Just as simple as that. Create a new ring.
Okay, where are the notes about the design and runes for a third ring?
He kind of just gestured to Delaney. Well, this guy took them all. At least most of them. There were a few more in the outhouse that you guys did not pick up on. I had to, unfortunately, resort to using my notes as, TP.
Why wouldn't
well, I
you use
assume
less
those are
important
the-
papers?
It was part.
This entire room is full of things that aren't essential.
Yeah, it was what I had in hand, and I was not going to walk back to the cabin to find some non-essential papers when I had all the information in my brain. Duh.
Also, you've never just noted?
I don't think it was Copper's fault that this thing exploded.
How dare you? How dare you throw such you sound just like Copper. Always blaming me for things going wrong and dragging him out to this cabin. I thought we were having a wonderful time together. He was helping me. I was helping Lathander. We were going to help all of 10 towns, but no. I guess I was too much of a jerk to him. I guess I didn't see his needs.
All I'm saying is you can't even be a ghost right.
What does that even mean? I've been a ghost longer than you have.
And you're ahead. We've been a ghost for like 5 minutes and we've already figured out how to communicate with our friends.
That's just because I evolved beyond ahead a long time ago.
You could have had a body and you could have warned us that this was going to happen.
The notes are in the pack. This one took the notes, and I believe they're in his backpack, which luckily was not singed, or else we'd really be up Schitt's Creek here. And shut your face.
He's gonna like point at the backpack and be like, notes.
Yeah.
Possess Levi. Just it'll be much
Vita
quicker that way.
Draws a line in the soot over to Levi and then writes notes.
I mean, Rosemary can hear us, right? Hello,
I can hear y'all.
Rosemary.
Oh, well, I feel like
Hello.
an asshole still doing this. Rosie.
Hello. Hi. Right.
Hey, there's notes.
Totally Rosemary. Totally not
Now,
anyone else.
Dale is,
Insight check.
Against my terrible bluff.
Rosie, it's so good to know you can hear me. It's really important and special to me. I mean, I'm feeling a little unmoored, obviously.
Dale, you down.
Right. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there are notes in the pack Levi is holding for manufacturing a third ring to go around the MacGuffin. And it should be safe to handle now. Apparently, there was residual energy that
I mean, the
we
thing that blew up.
released. Yeah, no, we released all of the fire, basically. I think.
Are you
Total-
talking to them?
Yes.
Maybe go outside the room and have Levi poke it and see if it explodes, and then Because, I mean, we can't talk to him.
That seems counterproductive, but let's start with the, Levi, where did the backpack go? Or I guess Levi's holding the backpack because he's
hugging it like a teddy bear.
Yeah, he's hugging it.
Levi, there's something in the backpack that they, I mean, one of them wrote notes in the ground, and they've been talking about notes, so the notes are in the backpack.
Levi reaches into the pack, and he pulls out this weird, like, sort of oblong-shaped cage, and he's like, "What is this?"
What the fuck?
Throws it, and he's like, "I don't know what that is," and then he pulls out the notes.
Hey, that's my stuff.
Yeah, Del Nandre, what else are you keeping in your pack that that Levi would might
All
pull
the
out?
cursed items in there.
Oh God.
Man, there's so much stuff in there. There's so much more stuff than I should probably bother having.
That thing's practically a bag of holding.
Get you a handy haversack.
Ooh. Sidebar real quick. Del, I'm gonna send you a message. Once I figure out who you are.
I'm
First
Del
name's
Nadre
gonna go to Levi.
Nericos.
Be like, they're talking about the thing on the ground. They say it should be safe now, but not sure about that. They want us to make another ring for it to make it work, and the notes should be here, and I think I heard something about an outhouse, and then they were arguing about that. But that should get us started, I think.
Excuse me.
Okay. And he pulls out the notes, I guess. I assume they're one of the last things that went in the bag, so
They should be like on top or somewhere.
they should be right on the top.
Yeah, there are you know, some papers right there. You kind of just start grabbing some, and they seem to be the notes that is connected. You do also know that there's a folder in your backpack, but it's a bit deeper down. But it also has papers in it.
Levi's a big dumb, so he pulls that out too.
Hey! Tell him to put that one back.
Why? What's in there?
That's not important.
What's in the folder? Bitte.
Nothing that it's literally will just confuse and distract him.
Open it up. I want to see him confused and distracted.
He says that's
thought
not
Do you
it.
want him confused and distracted while he handles your masterpiece?
No. The woman will be handling the masterpiece. He doesn't seem like he's going to be very helpful at all.
Okay, true, but still, he might distract her.
She seems like she has a head on her shoulder. Plus, she can hear us. She can't really be distracted. We could annoy her for the rest of her life.
I would prefer if you didn't.
See? She can
You
hear
would
us.
prefer if I didn't what?
Oh, no, sorry. They're arguing again.
Tell him to open up the folder.
No, tell him to put the folder away.
It's really hard to tell the voices apart, so I don't really know who's talking when, but one of them wants you to open the folder and the other one doesn't.
Listen to me, I'm the smart one. Tell him to put the folder away.
Yes,
One of them-
he's the smart one. Open the folder.
See?
One of them is the smart one.
Burn the
Which
folder.
one is the smart one?
You know what? You're right. This is a distraction from completing the summer start. Tell him to burn the folder for warmth. He can use it to start the forge.
Now they want you to set the folder on... Okay, listen, let's just look at what... I don't know. Let's look at the notes, see what we find. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Levi puts the notes down in the soot and opens the folder.
Stop.
So in the folder,
Cease.
roll me intelligence, Levi, as you try to make way.
Boy, I love that. You know, intelligence is just my best stat.
Just trying to make sense of what's in the folder. It's a jumble of notes, kind of little things.
Nice.
Ooh, it's also a save. What's your regular intelligence roll?
What do you mean?
Is your save in your
Same,
regular?
probably.
Okay.
Like, passive
Yeah,
is
they're
at
not-
10 plus your score.
Yeah. No, I have 10.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Listen, hey, which to be fair means I'm as smart as the average human.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's true. So looking at the papers, you kind of just it's just a bunch of rumors. It's just things that's been happening around 10 towns. You see some information jotted down, but it's information. It's jotted down. Somebody took notes of rumors around 10 towns, and Del Nadri has them in a folder in his backpack. Perhaps this is the rumor board that what's his name in I Sell Things here. Guess? Shoot, should know his name. Gans.
The guy who sold us people meat.
He did not sell you people meat.
Probably not.
He sold us hero meat.
Exactly, hero meat. Heroes aren't people. They're gods.
Even better. Rosemary's gonna start looking through, or I guess Bree's gonna start looking through the notes that Levi put aside because she doesn't care about the folder. She's just trying to figure out what's going on.
Is there anything in the folder that would stick out to Levi? Like any rumors that maybe that like, is there anything that like Levi has heard already, or like anything like that?
It's not really things that you've heard because largely, you all as a group heard of similar things. You may have actually picked up on one or two of these rumors from people talking when you spent your time in the Wounded Rogue. No. Where was that place in Bryn Shander that you took a fight in? It wasn't the Wounded Rogue because that's where everyone else stood or stayed. Yours was the... here it is. I have it. The Northlook. So when you were in the Northlook fighting, doing some... tavern brawls, you did hear one or two of these rumors. One of them talks about a whale that can take you across the sea of moving ice. Another one just talks of some weird knoll activity in the Dale. But there is, on a number of these papers, this symbol, kind of repeated, almost like it was stamped, but it really wasn't. It was kind of just an impression. It's not written down, but it's impressed upon the paper.
What does it look like?
A heart.
A heart?
Like a musical instrument, yeah.
Oh, a harp, not a heart.
Oh, I thought you said heart.
Okay. For now, I think Levi just looks at Bree and he closes the folder and he says, I don't think this is what we need. And he sets it on the table.
Yeah, it did not seem relevant to the situation at hand.
Yeah, I feel like in the meantime, Rosemary's been starting to look over the notes and like try to put them in some sort of order.
Yeah, Bacretus is kind of like his head in your head. You kind of have been sneezing nonstop this whole time, but he's been assisting you, and you're able to arrange the relative materials to the point where you have a good understanding of the runes you need to carve, and you think you can get it knocked out in, well, as long as it takes to start the forge up, melt a couple pounds of metal, forge into a ring, etch onto some runes, attach said ring to the Summer Star, and attune to it.
So like a short rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, like a couple of hours, maybe more if your rolls are pretty terrible. But given that you have clear instructions on how to go through everything, even for activating the forge that you're able to find in his notes, you'll have advantage on every roll that you have to make.
Okay. Levi, I don't know if this will help your friends, but it seems like they want us to do this. Can you help me with anything that I might need an extra set of hands on? Two heads make quick work, I guess.
Levi holds his hands out after he puts the backpack over his shoulders, and he says, well, I've got two hands and two dead friends, so might as well try to fix something.
Way to look at things. Hopefully, maybe that thing on the ground can make them less dead.
Hopefully. Did they happen to tell you how we should move it? Because clearly they are dead. and I would rather we don't also end up dead.
They said it should be safe, but then also one of them was like, make Levi do it, and that I don't know if I trust that.
Well,
So
to be fair,
let's not touch it more than we have to. So let's do some other stuff first, maybe.
this makes sense. But when I do touch it, and I will touch it, when I do touch it, I don't want you anywhere near it.
Okay. I mean, I would feel bad if something were to happen to you, and then I'm just here, and then God forbid when Rosemary comes back, and I've been witness to all of her friends die, like that would suck.
It would suck, but you're the only one who can talk to the people who died. So if you die, then we're truly fucked.
That's a good point. Okay, I
That's
didn't think
what
about it
I
that
was
way.
getting at.
Although to be fair,
Okay.
I mean, you can also just communicate in the soot. So
Yeah, I mean they can write now, so I guess, but it's quicker to listen to them, even if it is kind of annoying.
Levi
Even if
can
you don't
barely
listen.
read.
Oh.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are gonna get started with fixing the ring.
Yes, and I do. Bree is at least proficient in carpenter's tools. I don't know if that would help at all with this.
Bree, being a well-seasoned, day laborer, is very familiar with how to function the tools in the workshop, and you are easily able to begin to heat down the metal, and before you know it, you have a ring. Now, this will come to the point where you will need to roll. Let's go with let's just go with a dexterity check with advantage as you etch these runes in, which need to be very precise.
Fuck. And I'm actually good at. I have a +5.
Now, Levi, you need to roll your own, and we'll see who. It might be Levi. Kind of his head just. Oh no! This needs to, and he just takes over from you. Or
Yeah, I guess Rosemary or Bree is more used to working with wood than with metal, so
right,
it makes
Doing
sense.
a dex, are we doing dex checks or dex saves?
dex checks.
Oh, whoops, that's a saving throw. Sorry. Should I re-roll it, or should I just take like 2 off of that?
Let's let Levi just roll it correctly, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, am I also rolling at advantage or just normal?
You are also rolling at advantage. Y'all are both getting the advantage just from being able to follow a very clear and concise.
I mean, better
My
than a
dex
10.
save, my dex saves and my dex checks are exactly the same.
Okay. 14 isn't bad. It's above
We're
average.
screwed. Rosemary.
Were either of y'all
Rosemary.
What?
do either of y'all have proficiency in Arcana?
Let me take over.
Arcana? No.
No.
Wait, are you trying to possess someone who's already possessed?
Let me in.
Can I?
Well,
Just scooch on over.
because they're
I'm small, I'll fit.
I'm gonna just
Bree
go.
is also small. Rosemary, let's be honest, you're roomy.
I mean, technically, it's a halfling inside of a half orc, so.
You're still gonna have to roll a check. So let's just do your charisma saving throw to see. Even though you may or may not be willing, there's just too many.
Well.
Okay. So, Del Nadre is able to possess Bree, who is possessing Rosemary.
How many fucking ghosts can we get in Rosemary?
So many layers to this. It's like when there's a lot of lag in a video game, I move my arm and it takes like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Slaps Rosemary on the back. This baby can fit so many ghosts in her.
All right. Okay, Del Nadre, you have control of Bree, which has control of Rosemary. You do have a slight delay, but you're able to kind of get a hang of it as you test things out, and
Hey, why are you moving weird?
Shut up, Levi. You're always in the way.
Jesus Christ. I imagine Bree can't do anything. So.
Now, Bree, you were kind of like booted into the astral realm. So now you see both Bitte and Macretus. You're not so much booted as more of like a second head appeared off of Rosemary's shoulders. And then there's Del Nadri. So yeah, you're just kind of like an ogre head. Like a World of Warcraft ogre. So the double-headed ones. So you can see...
Where did this attitude come from?
Bree died.
Bree is dead. Sorry.
It's just something that I've noticed, and I feel like everyone is too polite to say.
Jesus Christ.
But as I'm someone outside of the friend group, I can be honest with you, and I don't have to deal with the repercussions of...
Bree is going to smack Del, who is in Rosemary's body, upside the head.
Del Nadri, you feel it. Bree, roll me unharmed...
Wisdom?
An unharmed attack. Roll me an attack against Del Nadri's ghost body.
Oh god, what would an unarmed attack be?
I think just plus strength.
D20
plus strength?
Plus ghost strength.
But joke's on you, she's super strong. 13.
Del, without your armor, what is your AC?
Probably...
10 plus dex.
It's a 14!
No! Del gets slapped upside the head, but it wasn't enough to really have any power behind it. Although, Del, you are aware that Bree can affect your ghostly body.
I just see you like going through your friends' stuff like right after they've died, and one of them was clearly saying not to, but I feel like it was just a major breach of privacy that I don't know. I reserve judgment. I'm gonna.
You just asked me to go into the backpack and pull out the notes. How was I supposed to know what the notes were? And you said one person was telling me to open them, and one person was telling me not to open them. So of course I'm gonna open them.
Bree's gonna like look over to Bitte and like the skull and like kind of wave a little bit and be like, "You guys, how did you do the righty thing?"
You just feel it and scribble. Like if it feels like it's going to work, it'll
try to write
work.
Levi on the ground and like point to Rosemary's. Or no, sorry, write Del on the ground. Sorry.
Roll me a wisdom check, just like them, to see if you can get it. You can figure it out.
Is it with advantage or no?
With advantage. Bitte gave you a little bit of inspiration there.
Aha!
Success. You're able to slowly scribble Del. Although Del is well aware that you are scribbling Del into the ground.
I'm gonna stamp that out. Smudge that off with the Rosemary's foot.
I'm gonna come over next to Levi, hopefully slightly out of his range, and write it again and point it at an arrow.
Now, given the unfortunate rules of the possession, you aren't able to really extend your arm any further out from like an arm sticking out from Rosemary's body. So you're not able to move outside of Rosemary's space.
Oh, I'm still here, I guess.
Yeah, because Del is possessing Bree, who's possessing Rosemary.
Yeah,
so
okay.
You kind of just can poke out from that spot, but you're still within. Bree is not a ghost in the same terms that.
All right, now let's Jaeger Rosemary off over to the forge.
Bree, why do you keep stomping on the ground? What are you doing?
Just ants.
I'm gonna scribble it on the other side. I'm just like getting a kick out of it now.
Bree, there are no ants. What are you doing?
Ants in my boot. I got him, I think.
Do your thing.
All right, Rosemary.
I'm gonna try to do this ring.
Rosemary walks off. I guess leaving Bitte? Or leaving Levi? Levi, are you coming along? So, in this workshop...
Wait, where are they going?
Now we're going to reenact Ghost.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so you guys wander into the fort, and now Rosemary, for the next couple of hours, is, at least 2 hours, is melting down the metal to hammer out the rings. Or I guess
we haven't even had Del like roll for his craftiness.
I'm sorry, we already did the making of the rings. Now he is in the workshop just etching the ring using Rosemary's body. Del, roll me your dex with advantage.
Yep.
It is better than the other two rolls, so
it is, but it's still not great.
It is not great, but it is good enough to where did Levi go? Oh, it's all the way out there. It is good enough.
Does it help if I'm proficient in Arcana? You were starting to ask that.
Oh yes, it does. You can add. Let's just say you can add your intelligence check to a modifier to that dex check, because it says it's a dexterity Arcana check, which kind of odd because Arcana is intelligence.
No, then yeah, that just means you roll.
Dex.
If you're proficient with Arcana, you just roll a Dex check and then add proficiency with Arcana. So add 2, so
Gotcha.
17.
Okay, well there you go. You are already good enough with the 15, but with the 17.
Yeah, but now it looks a little bit better.
So you are able to begin to etch. It is going to take about another hour, however, to etch it. So Levi, what are you doing while the rest of the party is preoccupied?
Well, I was told that I'm only ever in the way, so Levi fucked off to go hang out with the dogs and stuff.
Good.
In the meantime, Macretus is kind of conversing with Bitte, and he's like, I'm actually, as much as we got through and off to a bad start, I'm kind of glad that you guys came through. I hadn't had too many visitors since Copper left me. In fact, we really only had one. It's this mysterious fellow who just kind of came in, checked things out, and left. He didn't even bother. He even read my horrible chin scribbling. I guess it wasn't intelligent enough for him to make it out, but kind of just wandered off. Oddest fella.
What did they look like?
You know, they looked like a human, but not what a human should look like. Kind of like what a human would look like if you were trying to mimic a human. You know, you picked up on this. You pick up on this stuff with a brain as big as mine. They didn't move like a human. It is the weirdest thing. You're never gonna believe me. They hunkered around like he was a yeti. Arms slung down to the side, just walking around, stomping around. Like, guy had no manners.
It seemed to be a person acting like a yeti.
Yeah, he was doing this weird mumbo jumbo, talking about the planes were out of alignment here. I've never heard a yeti talk, so I knew it couldn't have been a yeti, but this human, I don't know, he just talked, he acted like a yeti, looked like a human. Weirdest fellow. He was here, a couple of days ago, maybe about 3 or so days ago. The actual time of it kind of matches up exactly along the lines of when you guys were at the Kalishtar Temple. Ruins. Temple ruins.
So it was a human, it was like not hairy. It did not have horns.
No. It was a human. Hairless. Bald, too. Weird. But I'm telling you, and I've seen a couple of Yetis up here, especially, big explosions, singed flesh. One of them came rummaging around not too long after I died. So I saw it. The similarities were there, just meandering about, arms just slumped down to its side. Longer, too. It was very odd. human.
This does indeed sound very odd. Did they say anything? Did they talk to themselves? Did...
They definitely talked to themselves. I mentioned it before. They felt like the planes were off. Something was maybe that's why I'm stuck here. I never really heard of the dead haunting places they didn't want it to haunt. I mean, I guess technically I definitely had a reason to stay behind, but you all should have just passed along. I mean, what did you care about here enough to be stuck here?
Our friends solving the endless winter. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
too major, I guess.
Those are two big pictures. They wouldn't have your ghost stuck here. But then again, who knows? Maybe it's just Lathander looking out for me, giving me some extra help. Maybe it's something else. Maybe the human was onto something and the planes really are just, off here. Maybe that's the reason why the summer star didn't work. Aha.
No.
Well, does this sound like anyone?
Roll me history, mostly just because, and we'll give you advantage on it too. And in fact, roll history with advantage with a +5 because I really don't want you to fail this check.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna need it. I need it.
You are gonna need it. We have been rolling like trash.
So,
yeah.
Bitte, given your connection with the planes, your awareness of the issues here in Icewind Dale, and your time spent with some interesting folk, you are aware that there is a, not so much exile or outcast, but a hermit who lives deep into the mountains, who would always poke his head into planar disturbances. It's a bit far off for him, but you never know. This could have been a major disturbance. You have already noticed that was something off about the weather and something off about the place whenever you were in your living. Being stuck here kind of adds a bit more weight and credence to that fact. So it brings up something in your thoughts, in your recollection.
There is someone this could be. I can't be sure. Don't quite remember the story, but it's a hermit that used to poke into planar disturbances. This place certainly counts as one. I can't quite get a proper feel for the nature of the planar hullabaloo, but I mean, the endless winter has put the plains aligned with the cold places in the wheel. The explosions no doubt key in an affinity to the fire plane. Of course, the bonding of Lathander contributes to perhaps some sort of celestial ties. That might be what is binding the life forces. It's all kind of a muddled. It's almost like they were all fully formed things, planar affinities that got stuck trying to go through a doorway all at once, and it's blocking our souls from moving on.
I hope.
Which I'm not mad about.
No worries. But I do hope that Lathander is here. Perhaps he will shine his grace upon you all and assist you with moving on to your next life. Whatever is in the cards for you after all this is done. I can only hope. Well, I can only hope for you. I'm perfectly satisfied knowing that my summer star is on its way to solving the everlasting winter.
I wouldn't count on that too much if we don't make it out of here with it complete.
You're
or
right.
if my friends don't.
You're right, Dylan. Let's go see what Del Nadre is doing. I think we should give him some assistance. Gonna kind of run over here to where you are, Dale, and
Tink, tink, tink.
hey,
Tink, tink,
hey,
tink, tink, tink.
hey, careful, very slowly.
I don't know how well I can hear you.
That's a good question.
Tink.
Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me? Sir.
So you're the annoying one.
I take offense to that, mate. I take great offense to that.
Are you
And by the way,
free?
we did see you almost die, so if anything, you were also the naive, absent-minded one who fell into the hole. Yeah.
Technically, that wasn't me. So, you know?
I don't see how it... Oh, okay, I see. You are half
Yeah, hi.
That is a half-orc. Well.
Free? Is this... Do you look like you normally do, or is this in a more abstract representation of your soul?
I imagine she looks like she normally does. She's just also kind of tethered to Rosemary. in some way, shape, or form. I don't really know how that manifests, if she's just kind of like sitting in Rosemary's spot.
Yeah, the most you can do is you can kind of like horizontally or at a weird angle extend Bree's body, but still stay connected by like an ankle.
Yeah. Beta is a little disappointed in you, Corey, for not using the art that I posted in the Discord as the token for this.
I know.
Beta
I know.
is... It's fine. You should have had your priorities straight. Gaslight in the house means nothing regard when compared to
Who
having
cares if you don't have Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
accurate art.
Don't have no Wi-Fi.
But Beta is taller than his normal 8 feet, but he's just kind of floating at an angle, so he doesn't have to have his head in the ceiling or his feet in the ground. Oh yes, there he is. Look at that handsome boy.
Oh god, Rosemary's on top of him. There we go.
And is very covered in, and he's obviously kind of blue and ethereal, but he's covered in fur, and he has horns, very similar to the horns that he wears on his mask. Or not mask, hood.
Your new look.
Yeah, it's a bit more symbolic, perhaps. My affinity to the planes, I have a little more, not as strictly my physical form anymore. When you get beneath the skin, it's not bad. I'm actually quite happy with it. The claws are fun, just kind of rare.
Looks fierce.
It's in both senses.
It's nice to meet you officially, I suppose, though I know the circumstances aren't the best. I really hope that it's not permanent.
Yes, no, it's I am very excited and curious to see you. I mean, it is honestly rather bizarre. I have only the vague anecdotal descriptions from your wife. Late, what's your if you're late, she is early. You're early wife.
I guess widow.
Oh yeah, that works too. I like early wife.
Early wife. She always did like waking up early, but
yeah. Oh man, I suppose when you contextualize things like that, it means that the only point of significance is the moment of death. We're not getting to that. But yeah, your early wife. There was not. I think there was one like family portrait in there maybe that I just didn't bother to really look at, and I wasn't sure who was like an aunt and who was Brie. But I mean, it's great to see you and have a more context for that. You seem a very pleasant person now that I'm not worried for the existential nature of my friend's soul.
yeah. You also seem like a very pleasant person when I'm not dealing with the fact that I've been dead for 30 years.
Well, small comforts. That's the way to. Oh goodness. How bizarre. You are very small.
Yeah, I'm not used to being big. It's a little strange, a little cumbersome. I don't really know how Rosemary does it. Also being like I hope this isn't how Rosemary feels whenever I show up. But it's kind of weird watching everything from the outside. Also, when your friend Dell was yelling at Levi, that was unfortunate. I hope that guy's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be rather butthurt about his diary or whatever that was, but
Tink.
What a diva actually making the tinking sound as he's working. Look, Elle, you can process your anger how you want, but let us have a conversation. Not. And I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings.
It is at this point that Dell finishes the ring just in time as he puts his last tink, tink, tink loudly to drown out the voice of Bitte and Bree.
I mean,
hey,
I would criticize him for it, but we did get burned to a crisp. I mean, if that doesn't earn you leeway, I don't know what was. So, you're finished. How wonderful. Is it all fitted together, or is it need to be assembled still?
I think we still need to put it on the actual orb. I don't think we've touched that yet.
Yeah, just grab those, and he just kind of like absentmindly like points just two little pieces of metal that are just like slightly cylindrical. They are not identical. They just like the point that he can attach the gyroscope or the ring to the summer star, but he kind of points. He's like, yeah, just grab those and stick it in there and throw it on. It's magic. It should just stay together.
It feels like these kind of loose tolerances are perhaps the reason why you exploded and caused us to die.
It doesn't matter what happened.
What are you getting into jazz now?
Look, it's done. Just tell him. Can you force her while you're possessing her to attune to it? Seems odd.
He could just. He's done with what he needs to do. Dell, why don't you come out of there and let Bree/Rosie just handle the rest themselves?
I liked that popping noise.
That was great.
Yeah. So, boop, you just shove up to the edge. Bree, now you're back in full control, and you just need to attune, which is just to kind of focus on it for a short rest.
Okay. I'm gonna pop out. Where is Levi? Levi's over here. Before I do that, I'm gonna call out to Levi. I'm like, "Hi, Levi. I'm really sorry about all the mean things that came out of my mouth. I promise it wasn't me."
Levi just sort of looks over his shoulder because he has his back to the cabin. And he looks over his shoulder. He's like, "How was it not you?"
So, weird thing. Ghosts could get possessed. I mean, I guess if I am a ghost, I don't really know what I am. But it was.
Believe you.
It was the one. I think his name is Dell. I'm still learning everybody's names. I met Bitte. He's the nice one, and then there's like a skull that's on fire, and it's the other one.
I'm not familiar with on fire skulls, but he narrows his eyes and he says, "I'll talk to Dell later."
Okay, he might believe you.
Okay. I just want to let you know. I mean, granted, my opinion is kind of limited, but from what I know of you, I like you as a person, and I think you're a useful member of the team from my limited experience.
Levi
Okay,
just
bye.
nods.
I'm gonna go attune to a fucking orb. I'm gonna go attune to an orb.
All right. It takes no time at all. Now, Levi, when she's preparing and attuning to this magical item, what preparations are you making? Any?
I mean, he doesn't know magic.
Okay. If somebody said they're about to activate a magical artifact, what would Levi do?
Well, at first, Levi said that he didn't want Rosemary/Bree anywhere close to it, but now, considering that Rosemary/Bree/ apparently Dell just fixed the thing, very likely, I think he's gonna put his trust in Rosemary/Bree/Dell/Beta/Flaming Skull.
Okay. Does that mean you're not going to do anything?
Yeah, I think so. Magic is not his strong suit, so.
All right. Okay.
Ranger, I think, or she was a ranger. She knows a couple of spells, so she's sort of used to magic, not as much as Rosemary, but she's also going to put the ring on first and foremost.
Okay. You place it in, it almost like snaps into place. You hear this kind of like, and then it just kind of quiets down, and you hear Macretus just like, yes, excellent, perfect, it is fixed. Go ahead and stop the everlasting winter. Just do it. Just say, everlasting winter, stop.
Everlasting winter, stop.
I didn't actually believe you'd fall for that. That's not how magical items work, ma'am.
I don't. You're the one who made it.
Come on.
Lots of magical items do have, activation phrases, though.
Not this one. You would have seen it in the notes, which you...
Well, half
Would
your
we
notes you used
have-
as toilet paper, so I don't know.
It may or may not have been in the toilet paper pile. You're free to go and search through it if you wish.
I refuse.
Okay.
I refuse.
Well, just feel it. Hold it in your hands. Allow your will to activate it. It should float in the air if it works correctly, right between you, and you just will the weather to be better. You just will it. Just
First off, shh.
will it.
Second off, I know how magic items work.
Do you?
I wasn't born in a barn.
Well, did you create this magical item? I believe you were born in the barn, ma'am.
Well, I was born in a lumber shed, but that's a whole nother story. But all right, I'm going to attune to the item if I can drown out Macretus's do it.
You are
Palpatine level.
You are attuned. You recognize the item as being able to cast Control Weather at will, potentially once, potentially multiple times. You aren't quite sure what Control Weather does, but you know that it will control the weather, both from your inference and just from Bree's time spent with the druid. You have witnessed it, and so you're kind of familiar with how the spell works.
It says I need to be like somewhere where I can see the sky. Is the roof intact, or do I need to go outside?
You do not actually need to follow that side of it. You could wherever you are. You just kind of like once you kind of zone in on it, it just starts to float in front of you, and you won't have to additionally roll for any of the skills that you have there. So you get to change the following items or parts of the weather. So within 5 miles, it will take 1d4 times 10 minutes to make for this change to happen. We are going to say it's going to take it'll take 30 minutes, so just a half hour and a short rest. You can have clear, light clouds, overcast, rain, hail, snow, or torrential driving hail or blizzard. What precipitation?
The last one sounds pretty good.
What precipitation level would you like?
I'm making a blizzard now. What is it now?
Oral wishes she had the control I did.
You have made a mistake by giving Bree this power.
That
She
theme
was
from
the
Lord of
Rime
the Rings.
the whole time.
In your current area, the temperature it's rather cold. The weather is pretty intense on top of the hill. It is you have in the living world driving winds along with a pretty thick cover and like a low cloud cover.
So in the spell it says I can bump it like up or down a level, but can I just choose any of them?
This one is more specific. You can choose, just basically you choose what the weather's going to be like.
I would like it to be clear and warm.
Okay.
With calm wind.
All right. Clear, warm, and calm wind. Almost immediately you begin to see and feel the difference. The wind slowly starts to die down. The storm above you opens up. First, just a little bit, a sliver right above the cabin, and slowly over time it expands beyond it. But from the opening of the clouds, a light shines down. Macretus looks up and he's like, I have done it. I have fixed the everlasting winter. Yes, it is all me. Shine your grace upon me, Lathander. Shine it strong and bright. I have done this in your name. Take me to the next stage. Take me to glory. And Macretus begins to glow ever so slightly.
That's nice.
It's like, holy shit, it's actually...
And he's like, oh, Lathander, he hears me. Yes. And his head just slowly floats up into the clouds. And eventually he just kind of like dissolves into light, and Macretus has passed on to the other side.
I'd like to take this time to wander over towards Levi as he's hanging out with the dogs. And in my ghostly form, just, hey, I'm sorry about those things I said. I'm just kind of upset about this whole being dead thing, and I don't really think you're like always in the way. It's just, I don't know. You've been there like a lot for me, and that's really cool. And I hope you'll take care of Gary for me, because I'm not going to be able to. And maybe come visit here at the cabin, where I guess we're going to be stuck forever. And bring me news.
Vito floats over and puts an arm around Delgus and says, we're not going to be stuck here. We'll find what our souls need. I promise you. It may take some time, but we will move on, and they have bright futures ahead.
So, Del, during your heartfelt speech, and Bitte, as you were walking over, you didn't quite notice it, Del, and Bitte, you weren't even really sure when it you kind of flipped, but all of a sudden, you are alive. Your body your ghostly body kind of just shining bright. not shining bright, just kind of glowing ever so slightly until you find yourself in the physical realm about midway through the heartfelt conversation that Del Madre had. In Bitte, as you were walking over, you kind of like noticed maybe one or two crunches underneath your feet as you stopped floating and began to walk again.
The second that Levi hears a voice right next to him come from nowhere, he goes, "Ah!" and just punches it.
Oh my god.
Roll me an unarmed strike with disadvantage. Actually, you know what? You have blind fighting, so
yeah, I do.
Give me advantage then, as you just become aware of this thing. And you're sitting on the ground. You're sitting on the ground, right?
I'm standing.
Okay.
Roll two. I'm just gonna roll 2 d20s.
Well. I think those are pretty good.
Yeah. My strength is +4, and I don't know if you're proficient with your fists, but if I am, then it's a +2, so that's a 25.
Shit.
I don't think you are proficient with your fist unless you are a monk.
You are proficient with unarmed strikes.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so, then with your damage, does he get proficiency on his damage?
It's just 1 plus strength.
1 plus strength. All right, so 5 damage to Del. As you just get...
Unless I had, like, the unarmed fighting feat or the fighting style, then yeah.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. You just kind of like, hi-ya! And punch.
And take care of Gary, because,
Beats is
for a
kind
second,
of in his own thing as he's talking, his arm's still there, and he's like, Del?
For a second, Levi looks at Del, and he, like, immediately is like, "Are you okay? You think I'm a waste of space and that I'm always in the way?"
Bree said that.
Insight check.
Pizza passes chest. Test to feel that he's still there. Did we come back like in our clothes? Is this our charred bodies, or are we like naked?
You came back through the grace of Lathander. In fact,
I know, but I mean,
that's a really vague answer.
You essentially come back as if you, in like the moment right before you died. So
okay,
your charred body. Rosemary would have noticed your charred body is just kind of like disintegrate into like golden dust and kind of like wash away on the wind.
Speaking of which, like as the skull like dissipates into dust, does like Rosemary come back, or is it still Bree in here?
Rosemary does come back with Macritas disappearing and the weather kind of becoming a lot more milder and the cold of winter no longer out here. Something must have shifted enough to point for the planes to kind of get rid of this special space in the astral realm to the point where Bree just kind of gets yeeted further into like Rosemary's subconscious. It was a violent throwback to Rosemary just coming back into consciousness.
So Rosemary comes back. She is holding an orb. Mm-hmm. She sees the charred bodies of her friends and then watches them burn away into bright light, and Rosemary just screams.
BJ comes sprint.
Yeah, Levi immediately is like, "Oh, not this shit again."
All right, y'all run back inside.
Rosemary, are you okay?
Dead. What happened?
Okay, this is going to be a long one. How about we step outside and we can catch you up?
Are they? They're dead.
No, they're standing outside. Come on.
Okay.
And so, Del, as you move into, or as the party goes into the cabin, I guess are you on your back? Did you get knocked down by
I stood up while everyone was freaking out about Rosemary, and
you see this very odd low fog come from the east, and this blue pale light kind of just emanates from within.
oh,
We pissed off the... What's her face? The Frostmaiden.
And
we should get inside.
Yeah, and so as everyone else kind of makes their way back out, they're now standing over here on the walkway. We'll say you guys are back over here. They're standing.
I'm gonna start untying the dogs.
Rosemary sees Bitte and just like big ol' hug, like just clings to him.
I thought I was dead.
No, you were dead! Oh my god,
dead.
never scare me like that again!
I will try. I exploded.
Don't explode!
I will try. I was never ready to say goodbye.
So
Like they're both just like weeping, hugging, like holding on to each other.
yeah, so
Levi's just looking at them, and then randomly he goes, "Also, Rosemary, you fell off a cliff."
I remember that part.
And so,
Okay.
Hey, gang.
Yeah, as Dell kind of tries to get the party's attention, you see bright light that shines from the east. This fog rolling in to these kind of like on the pathway up. A cold and hateful light coming, and kind of just this contrast to the warmth and the bright light that was currently, encompassing the black cabin. And the fog and the light are getting closer. At this point, the edges of the fog are creeping up, and you have but moments to react before it fully arrives.
Time to get up here and inside.
I'm gonna run over and jump up, take someone's hand,
Help Del out.
because we're cool and in sync. And
Beto
Onto the
will
wall.
reach down and grab him, and pull him up. Like,
I think
Darcy, maybe.
I think
maybe
Levi.
shut off the orb.
Right, can I turn it off?
Um,
Technically, Bree attuned to it.
you can, yeah. Rosemary really did. So you're aware that there is that you are controlling that you have the control weather. It's concentration for 8 hours.
We'll drop concentration on that.
You want to bring the winter back and end the thing that was helping out the everlasting winter.
I mean, do I know
we just
that
drop dead.
do I know that it's only within 5 miles, or do I know if it's wider than that?
You're aware. That's a good question.
Actually, you are right.
Yeah.
I think Rosemary wouldn't want to drop it because she would want, like, this is the thing that can fix the winter, which is what she's been looking for.
Right. While you're aware that it's just 5 miles, that it's centered on the summer star. It's where the power is emanating from. So for the next.
Is this fog? This fog is within 5 miles, though.
The fog is here. It is there. It's
Okay.
right down here. This little tiny blue thing. That is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm clicking over here. That thing right there. That blue orb of things right down there is the fog. Yeah, Rosemary is aware because of your druidness that it is only a 5 mile. It's not. This wall is some minor, help to the issue. It did not do what Makrita said, which is solve the everlasting winter all across Icewind Dale.
Yeah. It did make Lathander happy, though.
Yes.
Yeah, where are the dots?
Oh.
I guess.
I did say that I wanted to
get them
untie the
inside.
dogs.
Yeah, he did say he was untying the dogs, so I suppose that they are down right below you.
Yeah, I think
unless
Levi-
you said
Levi
they're
would-
untied.
Beta's gonna run back over here and like call them up the stairs. So everyone in the workshop, the forge is at least some sort of fire.
Yeah, good idea.
All right. So, Bite,
Damn, this place is unfortunate.
As you run towards the edge, you kind of see that cold light, that hateful light emanating from within. And, give me a second. We lost everything. Goddamn pop-out did not work out as well as I thought it was going to do. This ray of frost just comes firing out from the fog. I'm gonna need you.
If you kill Bete again right now, I'm gonna be so mad.
To die.
Bete, I'm gonna need you to. Let's see. I'm just gonna fire it. Yeah.
Is it a save or a roll?
Does 19 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Then it hits.
And what's my health at? Is my health at max?
Your health is at max. You were brought back completely fine, rested, and in fact, everybody, not only Bite, you feel. Although Levi, well, to talk to you for a second, you feel the blessing of a god, of the god of light, of Lathander. His blessing of the Morning Lord provides 10 temporary hit points at dawn for the next few days. Now, Levi, you still have a supernatural blessing, correct? You've not used your house blessing?
My what now?
Your travelers. Somebody has to travel.
No, I have not.
Okay.
I still have it.
Okay, yeah. You have to choose between that one or this one now. Do you take... And you're aware of what they do. You know, this one will boost your health. You gain 10 hit points every day at dawn, starting now. 10 temporary hit points.
How long?
For a couple of days.
I think I'll keep my traveler's turn.
Okay. Because that one doesn't really have a limit on when you get one use. So it's just once it's done, it's done. So Bitta, you have 10 additional hit points, but you're going to take 20 damage. As this frost just kind of right out of the fog cloud. The ray of frost even actually causes the fog cloud itself to kind of drop, and out from this little advantage point appears a cold light walker. Bitta, you've heard of the tale of these frozen humanoids embodying the anger and the hate of Oral. And
is a ray of frost a D10?
It's not a ray of frost. I said it was a ray of frost. Okay. It's his health.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
no, yeah. I said it's.
In hindsight, that would be a pretty goddamn low roll anyway. I'm probably better off taking that than Cornu. It's like, so it hits Beats in the shoulder. Goes, ah, fuck, dogs, up. Yeah. We've got company.
Let's roll initiative, everybody.
How far is this fucker?
He's right there.
Okay, and to be clear, he just took his turn.
Yes, he took his turn.
Okay.
So you can attack back at him, and everyone else will have their turn, and then we will start on the normal. We'll start at the normal. Whatever we roll for initiative after this. God, there are too many. Okay. Bitte rolled.
So the control weather is concentration. You said.
Yes.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay. Bitte, you rolled a 20. Levi, you rolled a 14. Del Nadre rolled an 18. Rosemary rolled.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well keep it up and see what happens.
Yeah, but that means I can't cast any spells that are concentration.
Ooh.
Which is Flaming Sphere, which would be really helpful right now. Like most of my good combat spells are concentration.
It wouldn't help, I don't think. No. It's not going to help.
What did you say the creature was again, Corey?
You recognize it as a cold light walker. Something that has been wandering. They've been wandering the Icewind Dale for, or at least since in stronger numbers since the start of the everlasting winter.
Beta calls out, "It's a cold light walker."
Oh, what?
Does he know any? A cold light walker. They normally come from the mountain springs of Colorado. Wait, no, that's a coarse light walker. But anyway,
you know that it has a pretty power. It can shoot a ray of frost. I mean, it's a cold ray, but I like it can shoot cold, and its light can be focused. So you need to be careful whenever you look at it. So like it's right now it's emanating 20-foot radius of bright light, which is this cold, hateful light. It's a blue light. Yeah. All right. So Bitte, you're at the top of the order, which is perfect because you get your chance now to act.
yeah. Give me just one sec to check. Okay. So I do not have disadvantage because he has already acted. And there, well, I mean, do I technically get to act before it shoots me?
No.
Or
okay. Think of this like surprise round is it just got to jump ahead of you and now it's going to go through. And then once
surprise round because I was like, oh no, it's just evil malevolent light. Oh wait, no, that's a thing and it's fucking trying to kill me.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the surprise.
You were aware of something was coming, and if you had more chance to, I guess you'd say that this, like you turn the corner and you're telling the dogs to come, you kind of look at the fog, and then that's when like boom, you get shot. So.
Oh, actually, I'm resistant, so let me.
Yeah.
That back.
There you go.
So it only took your 10 hit points.
Yeah, look at that.
Sorry, my partners was asking me where the keys were. Okay, so Beta, how far away are they? I assume less than 120 feet.
From where you are.
Yeah,
I would say less than 120.
Oh,
feet. That's right.
Okay. Also,
they're 30. They're 30 feet.
The dart's range is the javelin's range. Okay. Yeah, Beta is going to take a. It's going to draw a. Sorry, he's going to draw a dart.
Mm-hmm.
Dart, shake his bracelet with all the little crystals and stuff on it, and hum into it. And as it starts to vibrate, he's gonna chuck his dart. And okay, I have the adjustment, and I need to. Or actually, no. He's gonna hunter's mark instead of planar warrior.
Okay.
What? And
fuck him up. Get him.
Fuck him up.
Get him. Oh damn! What's the -3 from? Oh, sharpshooter.
Yes.
Okay. So a 9 and a 6.
Well, hang on. Is it?
And I added them together.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Sorry, the way it's doing the side by side is a little different than I'm used to. I'm trying to figure out exactly.
So you rolled a 12. No, you rolled
a
9
plus Dex plus 2 of your proficiency, and then you get another plus 2 for your archery fighting style, -5 for the sharpshooter. So that is 12 minus 3.
So a 9 and a 6 is your rolls there.
Okay.
So both of those are going to miss. Well, your attack will miss.
Okay. And then Beta is going to. Yeah, I think he's gonna jump off the side of this and get down in the stilts. That way the dogs can come up and run across and run to safety.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So you guys are you going to herd the dogs into the forge room, or do you want to kind of get them into the main cabin behind you as these dogs kind of
probably the room that doesn't have a big hole and a giant weak spot.
So yeah, it makes it pretty easy. You kind of jump out of the way. Del Nadre pushes him into the door right there and is able to close it down. And they hunker down along with any of the I don't think we brought the capybaras with us. Did you?
No, I think we did specifically leave them actually.
Yeah. Then all right. So when the dogs are secure, Del Nadre. Unless Bitte, are you going to move anymore?
No, I think that's where Pizza's happy. Well, actually, hang on. Let me get where the thing is just out of his line of sight, and then that'll be kind of him in cover. Okay. So, well, actually, I guess that's basically where he is.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yeah. Sounds good. Del Nadre, your turn.
I'm going to run through the dog room and, be kind of lean out this window.
It is at that time, as you lean out, you see two ice mephits kind of that were trying to fly low and close to the cabin. And you kind of stick your head out and boom, there's one is. Or there two are. Right there. They're a bit in the air. They were kind of like flying a little bit. But they've been trying their best to try to get in, and they both see you, and they're like, ah!
Bonus action, I'm gonna hide.
Okay. Stick your head back into the door.
Shoot.
In there, like, I guess.
I'm gonna act like I'm turning and running away. But I'm not, and then I'm just gonna pop back up and try and sucker punch one of these guys, shoot him with an arrow.
Okay. Yeah, they both kind of like freak out for a moment and think that their scream. They like kind of snicker to themselves, and both are like reach out a clawed fist to kind of give themselves a fist bump, and that's when you pop right back out.
I like dive on the ground under the table and hit just the right angle to pew.
Yeah, pop it out.
12.
12 does hit.
Hey!
17 damage.
17 damage.
You quite handily wound this one right here.
Actually, yeah, movement some there.
It kind of, you just knock a big chunk off of it. You can see its body encased in ice. The more meaty core of it all, if there is really a meaty core to it, ice mephit, starts to kind of like melt out off its body, and it's missing one wing, and it's trying its best to kind of flap around. The other ice mephit kind of grabs it, and it helps it fly in the air for just a moment, but you can tell it took a big hit there.
Cool.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Levi.
I think seeing that Bite has gotten hit and has started launching an attack, I think Levi is going to move into action and kind of try to get between the party and whatever the big thing is, because I can't see it.
Yeah. You can see it's cold light. Kind of, you just, it's a weird. You can see that there's something there based on the light that it gives off, but you can't see.
Yeah.
A light that's much more brighter now that the fog is no longer keeping it obscured.
Fair enough, yeah. So I'm going to go, I'm going to move my 30 feet to here.
Yep. Going to run off.
I can see this guy?
Yeah.
Like, is this the only creature that I can see?
I believe, yep. Now, you know that Dell made some noise and kind of, you heard some crashing.
Yeah, I imagine that I saw some stuff as I ran past the door here.
Right, you would have seen Dell on the ground with his, bow out, and
I've got these. Go.
Yeah. Just like a quick glance, you notice that there's some of your enemies, but Dell's reassurance that he got them makes you kind of continue on and focus only on the big guy.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, as I run by then, since I'm not going to be able to use my attack this action, I'm going to go ahead and burn one of my superiority dice.
Okay.
And I'm going to use... I'm going to use Commanding Strike. So essentially, I'm going to take the attack action on my turn, but I'm going to forego my attack and direct one of my companions to strike. So as I run past, I kind of I'm going to give Dell an extra attack against the Mephits there.
Okay. Nice.
You can use your reaction to make another weapon attack. And then you get to add a D8 to the damage roll.
Hey.
So yeah. So you can fire at the one that you already have hit, or you can choose this moment to kind of like pop out and hit the other one, which you can just barely see.
No, I'm going to go for the same one.
Okay. All right.
And then
just goes pop in the air, and explodes in a shard, in like a kind of a shard of ice, or it has a death burst. It goes, explodes into just these shards, which have no effect at all on the other method. In fact, it looks like he almost absorbs the ice into him. And this one is dead.
Yeah. And so Levi, after that, hops down into the snow and squares himself with his greatsword in his hands, just staring down this cold light walker, intent that no one else is going to die today.
All right. Rosemary.
just that one method.
So how far up is this walkway?
20 feet, but the snow is soft enough that you can jump down without having any damage.
Okay, then I'm gonna jump down and run over this way. To get eyes on this cold light walker who fucking hit Bitte.
Mm-hmm.
How far is this? Perfect. I'm going to make a flaming sphere, which is a sphere that's 5 foot in diameter. Let me see if I can make a circle. There's a circle. And I'm gonna make it over here, and I'm going to bonus action ram it into this cold light walker. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Dexterity saving throw. All right, it just gets a regular dex check. It fails. Rolls a 6.
Nice. It takes 2d6 fire damage.
All right, roll that fire damage.
God damn.
Well, shit.
Holy shit.
It gets this weird, unnatural laugh, just a snicker, like somebody's. It's like you can hear the grinding of ice crystals as it goes. I don't know what it would sound like, but it's my best option.
Okay.
Levi gives Rosemary a thumbs up over his shoulder, and he says, "Good, keep attacking it."
Wish that would have done more, but yeah, I'll keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna hang out over here, trying to take what limited shelter I can under the like stilts of the house. And I'm just gonna leave that orb right in front of him. It doesn't have any rules for someone trying to move through the orb, but I imagine that would hurt them, wouldn't it?
Technically when it has that stuff, it's either they start their turn or they end their turn in the
Yeah, I mean they'll have to roll a dexterity save if they end their turn within 5 feet of it. But
yeah, I mean at this point
like,
he could just kind of go boop, boop.
Yeah, fair enough.
5, 10, 5,
Yeah.
10. Ultimately he's just one thing behind.
Let me label this in case I need it for next time.
Yeah, so you have a flaming sphere. So that means that you dropped control weather?
Yeah.
Okay. So almost immediately, the nice warm temperatures you guys are feeling for just a brief amount of time, the winter just comes crashing back in. Like oral. The intensity with which the winter intensified. Well, that was terrible. The urgency in which the winter intensified is unnatural. Even with the kind of dissipating of the control weather, it's an outside influence here. Another ice mephit kind of appears, but he's not going to go yet. But the cold light walker strides forward. It's just this unmovable force of nature. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's going to kind of get closer and closer. It's going to raise both of its hands up to Rosemary, and it's going to both of his arms just start to glow in that more intense, hateful light. And so it's going to first shoot a blinding light. So it's kind of its aura gets focused and it shoots it right at you. So I need Rosemary to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw, okay. That I can roll good on.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You were good. You were able to kind of close your eyes, or you resist the intensity of the light. But kind of whenever you open it back up, it's already formed both of its hands into 2 finger guns, and it's gonna fire pew pew at you.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. So does an 11 hit?
No.
Okay. Does the crit 23 hit?
Yeah, that just barely hits me.
All right. So
Imagine if she was like, nope.
Nope. Rosemary suddenly has an AC of 24.
I'm actually immune to natural 20s.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, so it's gonna get double. Oh my god. Double cold ray. So double damage, right?
This is why
Doubles the dice.
Clerics are
Doubles
Double
the
the
dice.
dice.
That was a lot less worse than it could have been.
Yeah, it could have been a lot
Thank
worse.
God.
Could have been a lot freaking worse.
Rosemary shows up like, I'm gonna protect Vite! Immediately gets fucked up.
Yeah. So this thing just.
Lathander.
Now remember, you did have that 10 health points.
Yeah, I had the 10.
So it just goes as these rays just shoot and just hit you with this crazy cold ray. Almost like ice starts to form wherever it hits you. This heavy weight burden on you. And that is where we're going to end our session.
What? Oh.
We're going to pick this up next time in the heat of battle. We'll see where our compatriots are.
Pretty cold, actually.
Pretty cold. In the chill of battle. Because we are getting close and I don't want this to tread on much past 9:30. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening, those of you who are out there, whether you are listening in real time or if you are listening in the future. Hopefully not too distant of a future. We are Everybody's Mimic, a 5th edition actual play podcast, webcast, playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Now that I remember, I didn't actually introduce us in the very beginning of this session. So I was joined today by your lovable crew, Del Nadre, played by
Blake.
Bitay, played by
Carson.
Rosemary, played by and Levi, played by
Ben.
and I am your Dungeon Master, Corey. If you are looking for more information on our outdated, perhaps it's not going to be outdated whenever you listen to this, but most likely might be. Our WordPress at everybody'samimic.wordpress.com. We also have our YouTube page. Just search Everybody's a Mimic. And you can find us streaming every other Saturday, Sunday, occasionally, depending on how our schedules get lined up, on twitch.tv/Everybody's Mimic. I hope you've enjoyed this session. If you have, please like, listen, follow, subscribe, and just stop on by next time that we are streaming. Until next time, you'll have a wonderful evening, night, morning, what have you, and we'll see you around.